looks like John Cena is back, and maybe he's gonna get his championship, random championship opportunity at maybe SummerSlam, and he's probably gonna lose for sure, probably. But welcome to my WWE Money in the Bank 2021 reactions and recap. And just as usual, I'm gonna have all the matches in the description for you guys to, for all the winners, have marks, well, basically check marks next to them for all the winners. And I really am happy with both results for the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches, and very unpredictable just to see all these different talents in the ring, and just all the matches. And I feel like I would have been cool with anyone winning, and well, almost, with besides Drew McIntyre. As good as he is, he's already had multiple championships, so I didn't really want him to win and climb the ladder to get that Money in the Bank contract for the men's. But everyone else, I was fine with winning their respective matches and trying to get to the top and get their championship opportunity. It did suck that Liv Morgan didn't get her chance. It seemed like they were just pushing her for quite some time and trying to give her a chance, and that whole underdog story where they kept doubting her, just like they did with Daniel Bryan, and saying, "Oh, you're not good enough. You don't deserve a championship, and you're not a title contender, and you don't deserve to be a champion. You're not going to be fit for a champion. You just don't have the looks. You don't have the talent." And just now that she lost, I don't know if she's going to ever get that chance again. But I'm going to talk about more of these matches as I go through them. And I have some couple things I want to say going towards the end result, because I heard about some other things about some possible returns for other superstars. Superstars I don't want to see come back, because it's time for new talent. It's time for new faces to get their championship opportunities. And I'm very scared for now for these Money in the Bank contract holders that they might end up failing to cash in, because it's always that chance. Just because they won that contract, it's always that chance that they're probably going to end up failing to capitalize and get that championship, or just have a short title reign. But let's get into it. Our first kickoff show. This was such a great match. Rey Mysterio, or the Mysterios, Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio taking on the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. And I had a feeling that the Usos are going to end up winning, and almost just like Roman Reigns ended up retaining his championship as usual. So this was already the sign. Now everyone in the family has a set of gold, or just dripped in gold, as they say. So that was the only match. Every kickoff show always has one match only for the championships, and just such a really good match. But of course the Usos end up cheating, and they would have lost, but they end up having to resort to cheating, just like the typical heel has to do in these matches to win championships and also to retain them. But now we're going to move on to the main show, and just as you know it, this is Money in the Bank. So we start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You have Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki A.S.H versus Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega, who I never expected to see return to the WWE ever since she got released. And Andrade is on AEW now, so he's doing his thing on there. So I'm very surprised to see Zelina Vega in the match and just back on the show now. And she didn't even end up winning, so I think she was one of my picks. Besides Liv Morgan, I thought either Bliss, Liv, outside of Morgan, I thought Bliss, Nikki, or Zelina might be potential choices. Asuka already ended up winning. They're all really good talent and just well-deserving superstars. Naomi as well, and being also winning the Smackdown Championship a long time ago. But I didn't really expect to see Nikki ended up climbing up, because she never really got a championship opportunity, and she was sort of getting a push. If you guys been watching the show from the weekly shows from Monday Night Raw, Nikki was getting the push a little bit from beating the clock, the beat the clock challenge against Rhea Ripley, and she beat her in the beat the clock challenge, and also Charlotte Flair is for that particular challenge on the show. But now it seems like she was also getting a push, so I guess the signs were there. It was anyone's ball game just when it comes to this match. But I'm happy with Nikki Cross getting that championship and climbing up the ladder to get that contract. But with the contract itself, it's different, because she might not even end up challenging for the Raw Women's Championship. She can challenge for a different title on a different brand if she wants to. But I feel like she's going to end up challenging Charlotte Flair, and maybe possibly we'll end up seeing a surprise return tomorrow with another certain superstar. Becky Lynch was supposed to come out tonight and return. It was a big rumor about that, or a teaser, but she didn't even end up making an appearance tonight. So Hopefully Nikki Cross. She's still Nikki Cross to me. I'm not really just used to this whole gimmick of being a superhero or her being dressed up in this outfit. So I'm not really sure what their role is or what their goal is going to be for Nikki Cross going forward to as far as the show goes. But I'm happy that she ended up winning the contract. So she ended up winning the match, and we have AJ Styles and Omos defending their titles for the next match here. AJ Styles almost taking on the Viking Raiders, Erik and Ivar. They're still the War Raiders to me because I'm so used to that. Their original name, their old name from NXT. So I already knew AJ Styles and Omos was going to end up retaining their titles, Raw Tag Team Championships for the show anyway. So I think they're going to be holding their titles for quite some time, AJ Styles and Omos. But I feel like, I don't want to say this, if Omos wasn't his tag team partner, I think they probably would have ended up losing tonight, because Omos is so tall and he's big and he's just dominant. So if only he had a couple extra moves, I think he'll be even more deadlier, which is even more athleticism. But he has his power and his height advantage over most of the superstars. But I don't think there's going to be another chance for Viking Raiders, unfortunately. They're probably going to end up beating every single tag team. And eventually it's going to take AJ Styles and Omos to be split apart in the near future, which I see happening, and for them to lose their titles. So maybe he's the sole purpose of them winning. But AJ Styles is talented. He doesn't even belong in a tag team division at all. He can just be a solo. He should be in his own solo career and going for the championship, because he's just that talented and one of my favorites on the show. So AJ Styles just definitely doesn't need to be holding a tag team championship. They did it because it's something that he never did before, a belt that he never held out of all the other titles. But that was that. But our next match, Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. This was not even a match. He just dominated Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston didn't really get much of an offense. They built this match up. This could have been the first match of the show. It was just short and just very one-sided. They made Kofi Kingston look strong for a while, and then they had Bobby Lashley lose against both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods from Monday Night Raw. But now, at Money in the Bank, it's just all Bobby Lashley. So I'm curious to see who's going to challenge him next, because he already beat Drew McIntyre. He beat Kofi Kingston, and Randy Orton is on a personal break. So I don't know who else is going to possibly step up. I guess we'll find out tomorrow for the WWE Championship. But Bobby Lashley ended up retaining the championship in just quick fashion. But let's get to the next match. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. I am sick of Flair just holding all these championships. So she has another title to add to her records for Rhea Ripley, making her tap out to the figure 8. And one thing I want to mention after this match, I started having lots of problems with the Peacock app. That's the only way to watch, because they removed the WWE Network, so you can't really watch it anywhere else but the Peacock app. It was causing lots of issues ever since this match ended. With it's as if the app itself didn't want to see Charlotte Flair retain. Well, I won't say retain, win another championship. So I wonder who's going to challenge her next. Rhea Ripley's probably going to want a rematch. Probably not, and especially the way she lost from her knee injury and stuff like that. So we'll have to see what happens. But maybe Becky Lynch might come back tomorrow by surprise and tease a return. Maybe Nikki will probably end up using her contract instead of just cashing in on behind. Maybe she'll use her contract opportunity to challenge Flair tomorrow night by surprise. Maybe Charlotte Flair might have a match. Nikki Cross might end up getting involved and capitalizing to get that title and cashing in her contract for the championship opportunity. But anything can happen with this, because you can challenge them, any champion, anytime, anywhere. So that's the big surprise about these Money in the Bank contracts, and that's why I like this sort of event. This used to be a WrestleMania exclusive sort of match. If you guys been watching for as long as I have, it was never a pay-per-view. It was never really an event. It was just an exclusive WrestleMania match that only happened there during that event. It made it that much more exciting. But it's still cool to see her just get the championship now. But I'm ready to see some new challengers. Hopefully some new faces that can get a chance. But now that Charlotte Flair just got the title, she's probably not going to end up losing it anytime soon. Not even at SummerSlam. Unless she gets cashed in. But let's get into the next match following Rhea Ripley's match losing the title. Unfortunately, of the men's Money in the Bank match. This is the last ladder match before we get into the main event that I want to discuss. This match was one of the best. The men's Money in the Bank match. Ricochet, you got Ricochet, Johnny Drip Drip they call him, but it's John Morrison. I was hoping for John Morrison for this match. You got Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Matt Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus King Nakamura and Seth Rollins, who was another pick of mine that I thought was going to end up winning. But I am absolutely surprised to see Big E end up getting that contract, and I'm really excited for him because he's on his solo career. He's doing his own solo thing now, and they split up the New Day, which they shouldn't have done in the first place. But I hope that they give Big E the championship opportunity. I hope he takes the title away from Roman Reigns and cashes in on him, and hopefully he'll be able to have a decent title run just like Kofi Kingston had when he won it and beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So I'm hoping for good things for Big E Langston to be able to capitalize, and hopefully he doesn't fail to cash in the contract or end up risking his contract and losing it, just like how Otis ended up losing his contract to the Money in the Bank contract to the Miz over some Selena's. It was crazy to see that. So I hope they don't do that same thing to Big E Langston, because he deserves better. And now that he gets his chance to get the contract and be able to cash in on possibly the Universal Championship, which I think he's probably going to aim for, and I think they'll write up a good storyline for him to cash in at the right opportunity, but hopefully successful. And I was rooting for John Morrison. I didn't think Big E was going to end up winning, but I was rooting for John Morrison, Ricochet, just all these deserving superstars in here. Nakamura ended up winning the Royal Rumble a long time ago. He went on to win the Royal Rumble. I think he won the Royal Rumble with Asuka, if I'm not mistaken. They both ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and only to lose at WrestleMania. So he ended up losing to AJ Styles at WrestleMania when he challenged him. And he never ended up winning the championship. So now he's the new king of the ring now. So I guess they wanted to give him some kind of accolade that he took from Baron Corbin as the former king. So when they do stuff like that, you just see all those different superstars. Almost forgot to mention that Natalya and Cena ended up being in a match for a women's ladder match. It just occurred to me. So I forgot to take their names out. But anyway, Big E ended up winning the contract, so I'm very excited to see what happens next. Hopefully he cashes in this Friday, maybe by surprise, to ambush Roman Reigns. Maybe somebody will slip in and be able to take the title. But this Roman Reigns match versus Edge, I don't even want to discuss this because we already knew Roman Reigns was going to end up winning, especially since the Usos ended up winning their titles, the Smackdown Tag Team Championships from the Kickoff Show. Of course they got involved. The Mysterios ended up getting involved to put a stop to the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso to try to get involved, to interfere and try to stop Edge from capitalizing to take that championship from Roman Reigns. And by surprise, Seth Rollins ends up also interfering to cost Edge the Universal Championship right when Roman Reigns was almost about to get speared again, and be able to end the match and have Edge finally get what he came back for. But it's so messed up to see all that stuff happen. You build him up just to have him lose, and then they hype it up, and then he loses again, and then he comes back, he gets his one-on-one match just to lose and return all over again a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I believe, and then have him lose at Money in the Bank. Now that John Cena is back, he's going to lose too. As exciting as it is to see him, he's been in the movies, just like The Rock. Goldberg is supposed to be coming back now, just from what I heard from a rumor. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen with John Cena. Definitely guaranteed to lose, so Roman Reigns is just beating everybody. He's taking on all legends. He took out Undertaker. Maybe John Cena is going to be the next legend that he takes out, since he already took out Edge twice now, one-on-one, because he had some help. And then he already beat him and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania from this past year, well, this past April. So it's just, it doesn't occur. It's not surprising to see all this stuff happening. John Cena, I don't think he's going to end up winning. He's going to come back just to build some hype and some kind of new opponent, because he already beat everybody on SmackDown roster, so they had to bring back a legend, upcoming legend, to just to take on Roman Reigns to give him a match at SummerSlam. But let me know what you guys thought about the event. It was a really good show. I enjoyed the matches for what they are. I'm excited for Nikki Cross, and she's still Nikki Cross to me. I'm not going to say Nikki A.S.H. Nikki Cross and Big E to hopefully get their well-deserved championship opportunities, and hopefully the writers let them get it, and hopefully they can give it, let them do it, and not even just cash, but give them a decent title reign.